Hello and welcome to your reading for the new moon in Capricorn, which takes place on the 6th of January or on the 5th of January, depending where you live on the globe. Here where I live, it's at 2 o'clock in the morning, more or less. So in a few hours. As you can see, the cards are already on the table because I was doing this reading in my native language first. And it really goes beautifully with the energy of this new moon, which is very much about leaving what needs to be left behind and entering a new chapter, but not without questioning your reality. It's like a fact check or reality check that has to be made before you enter this new state, new cycle of yourself. And this reading goes beautifully with it. But first I just want to enter the energy of Earth for you. The Earth Bow. It's funny how people react to them, because everybody feels different things hearing this. I wonder what's your reaction. I can tell you about mine in comments if you write something. Okay, so the new moon in Capricorn. Generally, Capricorn energy is very, very strong now because we have Mercury in Capricorn. It has just entered the sign. We have Saturn for quite a long time. Of course, we have Sun and Moon, as always, on new moon. But we also have Pluto, which is there for I don't know how many years. At least 6, I think. Well, more, perhaps even more. And the lunar node, it's also in Capricorn, so very strong Capricornian energy, great to set goals, but make these goals very grounded and really check twice which God do you serve. I know it sounds quite biblical, but it's important. And do you have your intentions set in a very clear way? If you think you have your intentions set and it doesn't work, then check twice whether they are formulated clearly. Another thing you can check is whether your goals that you have created are still valid. Are they still your goals? Or maybe something changed during the course and you need to readjust the direction. That's the vibe here. And as a main card, I pulled 3 cards from wonderful Starman Tarot. Why for Capricorn? Well, David Bowie was Capricorn and his birthday is in 3 days, on the 8th of January. So when people tell me, oh, Capricorns, they are so boring, I always laugh and I say, wait, look at David Bowie and tell him that. So we have King of Cups. It's a beautiful, peaceful and hippie-like traveler. And mainly what I see here is that he's enlightened, definitely, and that the waves from his brain are vibrating in his vicinity and they are spreading throughout the universe, creating new spaces. I see lots of gold here and there scattered, but mostly I see this flame. I think it's his solar plexus. And this flame is transmuted here into the cup, into something very precious. That's the gold. King of Cups is about being emotionally matured and being really responsible adult, someone who recognizes his emotions, and someone who has mastered them. So I think you have come to this point, many of us have come to this point, where we not only have mastered some kind of emotions, perhaps it's spiritual life for some of you, some degree of wisdom in it, but we were also able to transmute it as a life force into something that is affordable, not only for ourselves, but also for others. You can see this external flame gathered here. It's ready for others to use if they want to. And this is the success. Because it's in life it's very often that we acquire some knowledge or some wisdom, but it stays internal. We have no clue how to transform it, how to transpond it, how to translate it for the outer world. But here, some part of it, this beautiful golden smudge, has entered the cup and created something that can be shared, which is wonderful. And the second card in this spread talks about the success and that something is completed here. The world, number 21, the last of major arcanas. The card of Saturn, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So there is some degree of success here, definitely. Saturn is a tough teacher who gives us tough lessons, but when we make our lesson, it says, okay, you have created something of value. Now you are enabled to enter a new stage of development. That's how she emerges here from some kind of a lift to a new cathedral. So it's a gateway card. You leave something completed here with this cup full of goods, and you enter a new kind of world, new kind of reality. And you enter as someone new. Princess of Swords is the third card here. And swords are about mind. So we have very powerful and brilliant mind here. When I look at this card, I see Inception with these buildings upside down. And Inception was always about questioning reality, and that's what this card is about. You enter a new stage, and what you need to do first, before you start learning new things, is to ask yourself the question I have asked you before. Which God do I serve? What are my values, and are they still mine? Do I know my truth? What's my truth? Is it still my truth? Or is it the way it used to be and I'm so stuck into it that I don't even see how many things changed? And perhaps the truth isn't valid anymore. So you're here looking from a high perspective on things and seeing very clearly with your mind. What's the structure of reality I found myself in? And you are evaluating once again before you start doing something. And you bind your mind to it in order to check whether these assumptions you have about the world are really viable and realistic, and how do they transform into the plan for the next year. Is there a chance that you're going to make it? it's a sword card, right? Swords are mind, but princesses are earth. So this is the earthy part of air, the earthy, grounded part of your mind. It's like thinking about something and then molding it, kind of modeling it from the dirt. Will it work? How? Being very realistic and truthful about it. So, it may be quite a challenging energy, although there's, as I said, there is success here in the middle. But then it's like you don't have any time to bask in this. You're at once you are thrown into questioning reality, right? Question everything, this card says. Okay, as for the signs of zodiac, first we have Capricorn. Capricorn has the Magician, which is a very powerful card, especially in this deck. It's about taking what you have, your power, the power of the universe, the energy of the universe, and the tools that you have, and using them. And you can use them in various ways. This person, it's Peter Baelish, and he was a master of using things and people for his own interest. And he really didn't bother about the ethics. There was only one principle, his own interest. And he wanted everything. So you can use it for the good or for the bad, but you're never sure how this will play out in the end. Because when we do bad things, there's always some part that turns out into something good. And when we do good things, there's always this little part that turns into something wrong. It's like an yin and yang. The proportions are more or less the same. So think about your purpose. Is it very egoistic? Does it have to be? What are the values you use when you make the magic of living? It's a nice energy here because it's number 1. So perhaps you are already in the process of being into this new reality, and you feel that you can do so much, that you are very skilled. Also the red color tells me about the power of life, the will of life here. Very powerful card. And then we have Aquarius. Aquarius has 9 of Spears, which is 9 of Wands, which is, I think Aquarius may feel stuck in the old energy. Not because they want to stay there, but rather because they feel obliged to stay there. There's lots of loyalty in this card. I mean, there is no way out of here. If you know the situation, Jon Snow's army was surrounded by Boltons, and there was no way out of it. The only way out was through dying in this place. So there's this kind of situation that you will gladly be out of this, but you cannot. You need to stand your ground. And perhaps you still have a little light of hope, although you're very tired, you're at the last feet. It can also be about being very fiery. I mean, this is 9. 9 is accumulation of the element. So this is 9 of fire. You are on fire. And sometimes in this state we can create beautiful, wonderful things of great value. But for how long? The time is crucial here. You won't stand in this position for much longer. So this energy may be tough. It's like you cannot finish something here. And you know you should finish it, but you cannot. There's just some kind of strong resistance around. Then we have Pisces, and Pisces has a repetition card, which is Page of Swords. It's the same as Princess of Swords. So for some of you, dear Pisces, you may feel very strongly this need of truth and need to check, to question the reality, to check whether my goals are still my goals. And it can be quite harsh. Be very careful with yourself. Don't judge yourself. It can be about judging. These people, Sons of Harpy, they were questioning the order that in their eyes was forced upon them. And it didn't really matter for them whether it was right or wrong. They were hurt by it. They suffered. They were, how do you say it? The goods were taken out from them. So they felt hurt, and they planned the revenge. That's what you do when you're hurt, right? But don't judge yourself in this way. Try to be not very harmful with this very mighty sword. Then we have Two of Coins for Aries. And Two of Coins for me is about the routine. The way things always were, and they will always be, and they are now. And it says, the Lannister always pays his debts. It has always been like this, and it will always be. That's the value of itself. The never-changing sentence. And the never-changing course of things. But you need to question this. That's precisely what you need to do. This card very often is about repeating over and over again the same things. Something you do for so long that you can't even imagine how this could be any other way. Going with the flow and not really checking, where does the flow take you? Check this. Check your daily routine. I have an exercise for you, and it's not only for Aries, it's for all of you. Check your daily routine and try to imagine a different kind of daily routine and write it down. How your normal day could look like. In a very different way than it looks now. Treat it as an exercise that perhaps will give you some kind of inspiration about questioning the reality as it is and how it can be changed according to you and to your greatest good. Then we have Taurus, and Taurus has Two of Cups. Two of Cups is about partnership, love, emotions, being bounded, being together with someone, finding reflection in someone or something. It is very often called the love card, but it doesn't have to be love. Sometimes it's just commitment or being in a relationship that is important for us. So perhaps you need to question the nature of your relationships. Check it. Check how your heart works towards the other or the others. What can be changed in this? Is this everlasting state? Or maybe it can be improved in some part. Gemini. You have 8 of Coins. And for me, it's quite a similar energy to the 2 of Coins. By the way, 2 of Coins is Jupiter in Capricorn, so it's the opposition between Jupiter and Saturn in this card. But here we have Sun in Virgo, which is, being very prudent, doing something over and over and over again in order to master it, in order to become a master. So this person has already forged 7 coins, and now he's forging the 8th one, and it's still the same, still the same, still the same. So as for Geminis, I think it's the plural. right? So as for Gemini, you may feel bored by this. Just tiny little steps, every little step. Today I do things that I've done before, the day before, and the day before, and the day before. Maybe it's time to change something, maybe a tiny element, maybe not so tiny an element. There's this feeling of boredom here and a need to change. Cancer, Ace of Cups, beautiful card. No problems with opening the new chapter. Here you finish it, here you open another. There's connection between this cup with the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. I think it's the same cup. So there is beautiful feeling of coherency that I have here. That you really don't feel that there's something difficult in leaving this chapter behind. It doesn't mean that it's, you know, lost forever and you won't you won't ever look back on it or something like this. No, it's still part of you. It can as well be you, this King of Cups, right? And you're just saying, okay, I've done my work here, now I'm off to something else. You put your attention to something else now, dear Cancer, but I'm still here. I'm in your heart. I co-created your heart. So I think for Cancers this goes really easily, which is fascinating because the new moon in Capricorn means that both moon and sun are opposite your sign. But still, perhaps they cast some beautiful light, beautiful energy on your area. Leo, another ace. This time Ace of Swords, and this is quite a different energy. It's about not the fluid transformation from the King of Cups into Ace of Cups. It's rather about cutting clean. So there's a cut here. I don't want to go back to this. I eagerly enter a new state of mind. I see things clearly. I question reality with the brilliance of my mind. I have a new splendid idea I'm gonna follow. And perhaps that's why it's so easy to separate what was from what is with this wall of ice that is immense and magical. And I feel that perhaps this new idea appearing here will just pull you in like a black hole here. Okay, Virgo, you have Strength. Brienne of Tarth. And this energy seems very sorry. It is quite similar to Nine of Spears, which is surprising to me. I never connect these two cards, but this time I do. Whatever you need to leave behind requires strength, and or you feel not obliged to leave it behind, perhaps because you promised something to someone. Again, loyalty is the issue here. So I think if I was to pose one question as a Virgo, I would ask about the nature of my loyalty and who am I loyal to, and most of all, am I loyal to myself? Because this thing is the most important thing. At least for me. Libra, Three of Swords. That's your card. It's Saturn in Libra. Seeing the nature of a problem. Recognizing the core of the issue. And it can be painful, but it doesn't really matter. You know, these cards are very much connected and they want to create balance in your life. They really want to re-establish new balanced point of start. But you need to take care of this, whatever it is, no matter how painful it is. There are always two ways to treat this card. One is, oh, I see what's the problem. Okay, now let's remove these 3 swords for this wound to heal. Ow, it's painful. Oh, the blood is flowing. Oh no. But okay, I have to do it. And the other attitude is, oh, I see the problem here. The 3 swords are stuck in the heart. Okay, I don't want to look at this. I'll turn my sight out of this. Oh no. Oh, there are so many other important things. I won't pay my attention to this. Okay, I know it, but give me a break. Which path will you choose? You can ignore reality, and some people ignore reality for their lives. And it is a path. It is some kind of a path. But it's when we recognize reality and get in touch with it, when we gain the opportunity to really change something. Here is the opportunity to heal. You can take it or not, as always. Scorpio, death. And together with this, it creates a really touching energy. I'm not sure whether I can explain it, but it's almost like a sacrifice made here. 2 ending cards, the world and death. So it's like you did something out of love, out of pure love. And you send your love energy, your loving energy, you send it to this cup. And then you say, okay, I can leave now. You know, he's ascending. Perhaps you didn't see it. But definitely this vehicle is going up. And he's like saluting. And leaving is something very precious. So it can be you leaving something or someone very precious, completing your mission. And it's like you're saying, I love this, the light here. It's like you're saying, okay, I did what I could do. And now I leave you with a clean piece of paper, with a clean field. And now you can plant your seeds there. I'm away. I'm off. I leave you with it, with my love. There's this kind of energy here. Very, very beautiful. It's not cruel. It's not brutal. It's full of love. This death. Finally, Sagittarius. Okay, I can change. Knight of Cups. I'm taking what's offered, eagerly. There is something preserved here from, it's beautiful, very nice. There's something preserved here from this past period. It's not lost. This cup is not lost. Somehow you managed to take it and move it through the oval of the world, through this gate. And now, in a new reality, because I feel this is a new reality, this card is very different from all the others. It's so, full of light. And now, you have a part of this transponded light, transformed gold. It's here in the cup. So there's, again, as here, the energy of love that is coherent. There's this feeling of fluidity here. Nothing is lost. Something is gained. Something new and beautiful is added to the world. So, great energy for you, Sagittarius. Okay, so that's the reading for new moon in Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed. I wish you a wonderful time. Please take a little time to meditate before the new moon. Set your intentions, set your goals. Use this beautiful time of the year for your greatest good. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I see you in next readings. Bye-bye.